morning from Kumasi. How you doing? I hope you're well. Yeah. Yesterday, I was supposed to come back and celebrate World S.A. Manson Day with you properly. But guess what? Yesterday was a crazy traveling day. Oh, the bus I got was a funny bus. I had to change buses halfway through. It wasted a lot of my time. It had a mechanical fault. So that wasted majority of the day. By the time I got home, I barely got to fall in love with my people and I was out cold. Which is something that happens a lot these days. When I'm tired these days, there is no speaking to me. So I fell asleep. I woke up 1 a.m. here, local time. The poor children did not even get to see me. And I've woken up quite early. I hope I can talk to you about two men in my life whose days are consecutive right now. So yesterday was the 9th anniversary of my father's passing, and today is my son's 21st. Those 2 days marked on my calendar by two very beloved men in my life. I promised to tell you about my dad, but this morning I need to tell you about my son. So we are going to talk about my dad and my son. 16th and 17th of March. Oh, these are my products. This shirt is from 2018. I keep telling you, First Pick is my brand. Amazing, right? I do a lot of identity work and brand work when I'm here. I love to share those things with you. The back of the shirt, if I could show you, says GH for life, because it is for life. Anyway, I was telling you about my dad and the incredible thing my dad has done. Albert, good morning. My family, stock, they are farming folk. We come from the hinterlands. We farm the land. We work and we break our backs. That's what we did. That's what we did. I'm a Bono girl. Those of you who are Ghanaian know that there is a lot of tribal nonsense around. I don't think the Bono people were enjoying the respect that they should enjoy. My dad's family is quite royal. They are royal people doing their little thing in their corner. But you see, the disrespect socially, I think, got to my maternal grandmother. She was not feeling it. And she was looking for something they could do as a family to move themselves from the rungs of the social strata. Good morning, dear Albert. How are you doing? And move themselves up. At that time, some of the people had already traveled abroad. Some of them had gone to do something and they had returned, Dr. This, Professor this, this. And when they came back, Alex and Josephine, when people returned from their trip abroad, their status had changed. Farmers' children, I am very good. All is well with me. I am celebrating two men in my life consecutively this morning. I'm telling you about my dad because yesterday was 9 years since the day my dad passed. Today is 21 years since the day my son arrived. Hello, Kweku. Kweku son, how you doing? I know. Your little brother is not very little anymore, is he? Yeah. So, this morning, Kweku, when the old woman wakes, I will talk to the two of you, but you should be sleeping. You will go to work tomorrow. You should be sleeping. You are awake too early. My dad's mom was already thinking what they could do to get better. The first person to suggest what they should do was my uncle, my dad's big brother. He had figured out that it was education people were going abroad to do, and that his little brother was clever and could do education. And so these were the two main instigators who came together to start the cascade that got my father from the farm into the classroom. So as I was saying, I keep forgetting it's very early here. Can you hear me? Yeah, I hope you can hear me. Cool. It is 3:42 a.m. and I forget how early life is. As for me, I wake up at stupid o'clock. I'm gonna have long conversations at stupid o'clock. So let's have this one. So as I was saying, it was my grandmother and my uncle who had the idea that education was going to be it for my dad. And these two people sent him on the cascade, ending him in England, unsupervised, on his own in the pursuit of education. I don't know about the rest of you, but I studied under two parents' guidance. My dad was beady-eyed. He missed nothing. He focused on everything. But even then, getting me through school was a nightmare. Exhausting. Having those checks in. There were near misses, there were tight corners, and all these things, even with parental supervision. So I am imagining what it would be like to be on your own without any supervisor, trying to do education on your own. Remember, he was a farm boy. He had arrived in London. He lived in Soho. Those of you who know that area in London will know that it is not a place for saints. Soho is not where saints live, right? And for a young man who had come from the farm to the blitz, the glitz and gloss of London for the first time with no adult supervision, it would have been very difficult for him to keep his focus in any other place. But it would be nearly impossible for many young men to keep their focus in Soho. The fact that he was able to do what he needed to do to get admission to end in Oxford, incredible. Incredible. And then he took himself to Heidelberg to go work on his doctorate. Insane. As I say, my son is currently doing the same thing in the UK too. At the moment, we've done 3 generations of UK education kickstarted by my dad. But the 3 generations of education we have done are completely different in their nature. Chibodi, good morning. Yeah, my son is able to walk because he's walking on the shoulders of giants. Being tall is not difficult. My dad was walking in the pits. Staying upright was insane. But you see, there need to be men like my dad to change the destinies of the rest of us. Now, when I tell people I am Dr. Manson's daughter, it gives me a credibility. It offers me a status that my dad never enjoyed. My children will tell you they are Amma Manson's kids. Amma Manson, daughter of S.A. Manson. That adds a little bit more weight onto what it is we offer the children. And it is all being possible because of the generational assignment that my dad honored. It was an assignment onto his direct lineage and onto his wider family, because now there are cousins, nephews, grand cousins, and all sorts of people who also benefit from the change in prestige that he brought. He is the person whose efforts first transformed our status. He brought a new level of credibility that we had never seen in our family before. He brought economic success also because of the same stint. And by that, he changed my status completely. If I had told you his name actually changed, my dad's name changed because of this whole process. Manson was a name he was given by the white men when he was getting educated. Manson was a translation of their name. They were actually true Berima. His father was the Berima. Berima means man. He was the son of the man, son of Berima, Manson. That's where my name comes from. As Esuchum Berima, it would have meant very little. Eze Manson changed a lot of things. So my dad and my name has a history that I should tell you guys. I should tell you those things because it is my responsibility to let you understand the man who changed the game for me. It really is my responsibility to let you guys understand. I celebrate him because I actually understand the effort it would have taken him to do what he did. And I am so grateful that he was willing to do what he did. I wish that more of you will be inspired to do similar to what he did. I think I'm booking everybody in this house with my noise. I forget people sleeping. Yeah. You ready? Yeah. I'm telling you these stories as viewers of my page because I know that stories like this could inspire some of you to get started on your own program. I speak to so many people. I want to change my life. I want to change my lineage. I want to change, but it's too difficult. It's impossible. Impossible is nothing. Impossible is something people say when they are not inspired to do the incredible. Impossible is what you say when you are not inspired to do the incredible. Those who do the incredible do not tolerate the word impossible. And when they do the incredible, nothing turns out impossible. What my dad did would be said to be impossible by some people, but as you listen to me, this is history recounted. It was possible. It was doable. A person did it, finished it, and I'm telling you about it. I'm telling you so that you can also hear that and inspire yourself to know that that which you need to do is very possible. What you must do is very doable. It has been done before. It is currently being done. It will be done in the future by incredible players. And so the question becomes, are you an incredible player? My dad was an incredible player. My dad did what people said was impossible. Take himself from the farms that he was born in. He was born on a farm. 2 illiterate farmers in the hinterlands of Ghana. He, by his own claws, dug himself out of that hole, got himself high enough up to be able to pass on a legacy that I am proud to say to people. I am Dr. Manson's daughter. It is so common when I'm here. people will see my name. Amma Manson, oh, Dr. Manson's daughter? Yeah. And I respond to that with pride. I am so proud of what my dad did. One man is not supposed to be able to do in one generation what my dad did. But I want to tell you the incredible thing he did as a way of inspiring you to do your own incredible thing. Because a lot of us find ourselves in positions in life where we've got to rise and to do something. Sheila, Adiola, how you doing? And Inshaba Gifty, yeah. You are in places in your life that you are not happy about. You know that you've got to change certain things in your life. And so you look at what you need to do, you see the size of what you've got to do, and you scare yourself and you tell yourself you cannot do it. I'm telling you today, it can be done. It has been done. It's been done. It is finished in some places. Yeah. You. The voice is very low because it's very early this morning. I woke up all guns blazing whole, and then I remembered it's 3:53 a.m. here. So I don't wake everybody in this house. I've intentionally reduced my volume, but hopefully you can still hear me. It is possible. It is doable. Just buckle up, suck it up, and get started. You can do so much in one lifetime. You can change so much in one lifetime. My dad, as I said, was born a farmer's son at the very low ranks. I was not born a farmer's daughter. I was born a doctor's daughter. I was born socially quite high up. All the doing of one man. Just one man. I am so thankful, Sister Sheila, that my stories actually do the work that I want them to do. So, of course, I'm telling you about my dad. None of you know him. He's been dead for 9 years. But I'm telling you the story of my dad because I want the story of my dad to inspire you to do the things that you need to do. One man, one woman can change so much. So much. My dad changed the footing that I had as a person. He changed my odds. But you see, my dad's story is even more incredible in the sense that he did not do it just on his own. He did the crazy work, and then he got on and became the mentor for all of us past himself to push and to move. I was born a doctor's daughter. That's how I was born. But I am a farmer's granddaughter. Do you understand? I am a farmer's granddaughter, peasant's granddaughter. My grandparents were peasants across board. My mother's dad was a bit wealthy. He was a builder, but he died quite early. Generally, I was a peasant's grandchild. But a peasant's grandchild was born a doctor's daughter. Complete transformation of social standing. And it was done by one generation. As I said, if I was just born a doctor's daughter and kept it that way, that would have been the end of a short dream. But the thing that was incredible about my dad was that he took that bit and then he took his mentorship, his stewardship as a mentor. He took it so seriously. He was so aggressive in his pursuit. He really was. And it has helped to change a lot of things. Is why I tell you the story in the hope that those of you who want to do similar have a blueprint of something that you could use to inspire you to get your own strategies formulated. Amen, Sister Sheila. I pray we learn each day that every encounter we have inspires us to make the most of this beautiful life that we have. When my dad had done what he could do, and he realized that he was coming to, well, he had hit the glass ceiling, and he himself was not going to be able to do much past what he had done. Then his whole effort and concentration recircled to mentorship and inspiration of his children. My dad would give speeches to us, his children, daily speeches, so daily, so regular, so routine that my siblings and I called it the gospel according to S.A. Manson. At every opportunity that man got, he was speaking. My dad challenged every thought of yours. My dad brought these crazy standards, and he held us all accountable to these crazy standards. He planted these thoughts in your head. He told you that you were meant to be great. You were meant to be better. And what is actually very unique is that he was calling us to be better than the circumstances prevailing. We were born to privilege, but we had lost the privilege. We had lost it. He could accept that as destiny and have us return to live the subpar life. Even the subpar life we were living was much better than what his parents had, what his typical outcome would have been if he hadn't done what he did. But he knew that that was a short sell of his assignment. And so my dad would say, you currently live in this matchbox, but you were not born for this. You should be living in edifices, he would say. You should live in an edifice. You belong in a mansion. You should live in better conditions. You see, these people who are your neighbors, they are not the neighbors you are supposed to have. You are supposed to be neighbors with prominent people. You are supposed to be neighbors with hardworking people. You are supposed to be in places where excellence is the norm. Currently where you live, excellence is not necessarily the norm. But we are going to change that. You are going to change that. You've got to keep working. If you got 100% on a test, my dad was just barely satisfied. Barely. And I used to think, how is this man sane? How? He's insane. But you see, his insanity is the reason why we all got insane. His insanity was infectious. We all got insane. Eventually, we bought into his program, hook, line, and sinker. We did. See, at the moment, I'm sitting making this noise from my baby sister's house. I come to my baby sister's house, I get myself my own little ensuite to sit in and make noise and bleat and wake the whole community up. Yeah. This house I'm sitting in and talking is a huge improvement on the house that I lived in when I grew up. Huge improvement on where my grandparents lived when my father was born. Huge improvement on the generations that came before us. This house, this life that I just walk into and I enjoy comes because my father had set a program and he had successfully indoctrinated his children to commit to execute the program. You see, the commitment he got from his children, for me, is his actual legacy. What he was able to do himself was insane. But what he was then able to do in inspiring the rest of us to work, because that's what we've all done. Work. Each one of us has worked. We have worked. But every single one of his children had been inspired by the Father's story. by the Father's guidance, by the Father's motivation. We had bought into the dream He sold to us. We bought into His dream. We have worked, we have executed. So this one is a little doctor of her own. She lectures. She does university lecturing. She's using her doctorate properly. I am some corner doctor of my own, doing some here and there. But you see, that means that S.A. Manson was a Dr. S.A. Manson. And in his direct lineage, he has 2 children who carry the doctorate title. Do you understand what it means for you to achieve something and to double it in your children? That is a good steward. A good steward will make personal progress and will accelerate that progress for your children. He was 1 doctor. 2 of his children bear the doctor title. My father already has 1 grandson who is a medical doctor, but still with the doctor title. 3 generations of that man already has the doctor title. Obviously, the grandson bears his father's name. Each of the daughters bear our husband's name with the doctor. But the lineage and the factor, the improvement factor in the lineage is not deniable. It is not deniable. Yeah. I envisage that in his lineage, because my father did such a good job in teaching all the children to understand his vision and to buy into it, we have all made investments that make certain things inevitable. So the first grandson, who is a doctor, is my big sister's son. He is old enough. He's old enough to do what he's done. We are very proud. My children are slightly younger. The baby's children are even younger. But I have no doubt that in the lineage, we will see more people go down various routes that I don't think we will only have 2 of them. I expect, as my dad used to say, my dad says that he would have a few doctors in his lineage, he will have a few CEOs in his lineage, he will have some professors in his lineage, he will have, and I have not a shadow of a doubt that that will happen. Why? Because each one of us has invested aggressively in the best form of education we could get for our children. My big sister has invested in ways that just, it's awe-inspiring. I look at the sort of kids, the sort of places she's taking her kids, the kind of education she's giving her kids. I am so proud because she's been a good steward of the family vision. I have done the same. I am also damn proud of my contribution to the family lineage. I watch the baby make her investments, and I am so proud of the investments. We come from a program that we are all very clear of, that we all commit to, that we have all become faithful stewards of, and it's because one man bought into a vision, sold it to us, and we have all bought into it. For me, that was his assignment complete, excellently executed, so that 9 years after his passing, his doctrines were so deeply ingrained that I sit here and I teach it to you, random strangers on the internet. Some of you listen to me, and some of you craft your own, and you go off and you do your own insane escape routes. That is a life well lived. So let me unpick his good life for you. My father's good life started from being willing to work like a dog, wearing shoes that human beings should not have worn, slugging it out in the cold, miserable winters in Europe, living on tins of beans and bread. Living on bread and tins of beans. That was my father's reality. Living in tin houses. The houses, the rooms that he hired in London, they were just enough to have his single bed and enough space to move around in Soho. That's it. Osofo Pepra, please come and let's talk. I want to talk to you, yeah? Please do come and let's talk. I want to have a conversation with you. You know, he lived in a place that was almost not fit for dignified living. And he did that because he knew it was necessary to push him to the next bit. And he had the focus, he had the discipline, tunnel vision to keep going, to not get distracted, to not move into other directions, to come and find what he had been told to come find. He found it. That would have been enough if all my father did was execute on the assignment he was given as a little boy when he was put on the ship. He would have lived a good life. But he didn't just do that. He did that, and then he stood to teach the rest of us, his children, to do exactly the same. Exactly the same. There are 4 of us. My father has 3 daughters and 1 son. There are 4 of us. Every single one of us is pushing in our own little corners. We are pushing in our own ways, but we are pushing exactly the way my father taught us to push. And you see, the effort we were taught to push with is phenomenal enough to get you and my dad, the indoctrination we have undergone. Devona, the indoctrination my siblings and I have undergone. And you know, Simone, you are welcome. Now that I know the power of indoctrination, I am also a skilled indoctrinator at the moment. When my daughter was in year 13, I chose to take her off the taxis that took her to school. And I drove my daughter to school for a year. And for that year, she sat in my car every morning and heard me address you, my Facebook audience. But the topics that I chose to discuss were not curated only for you, the Facebook audience. That was my indoctrination program. My father did his indoctrination at the dinner table. I knew as a child how difficult it was to listen to these doctrines whilst I was trying to eat and process. That was the only slot available to my dad, and he took it. So I, being my father's daughter, knowing and thinking, needed to strategize. My daughter and I were talking about those videos, and she was telling me, you know, Mom, you are so clever, but I know you so well. I know you so well. I knew what you were doing. I knew what you were doing. Victor, hello, bro. I knew what you were doing. I know you, Mom. As she was reading my memoir, and she was unpicking some of the things I did, I know you. Nothing surprises me in them. Your confessions mean nothing to me because I knew. Yeah, my daughter was in the car. The topics I chose to discuss were things that I wanted to teach my daughter. And you know, I did it every morning because I was always on my Facebook page. You couldn't accuse me of doing anything. I was not directly addressing my daughter, but I was indirectly addressing my daughter. I have made sure that my children are also fully immersed in the gospel according to A.T. Manson. Yeah, my actual full initials should be M.A.T. Manson. S.A. Manson preached the gospel. M.A.T. Manson preached the gospel. I hope that the little children that I have also raised will also have this doctrine in their core enough that it will influence their parenting philosophies, that it would influence their own mentorship programs and indoctrination programs of their children. But what I'm telling you is how to transform your life in a sustainable way. My father transformed his life, inspired the rest of us to transform our lives. And now we are all teaching our children the same program. And after a few years, I've already told you, kill two birds with one stone. So if you didn't know, my daughter had been in a taxi going to school for 5 years. I could afford a taxi. It was easier to let a taxi take my daughter. But it was her last real year with me, under my stewardship, before she left and went to university. And I was not going to lose that year. I was going to take advantage of that year. And so we moved. That's how I invest. We moved to go live in a place that allowed me to be able to drive her to school and back without getting late. We did. I moved right behind my school. I could have walked to school, could have chilled in the morning, walked to school. The taxi would have taken my daughter to school for half the price that we used to pay. But I chose to be the driver. It was a bonding exercise for me and my daughter. My daughter and I are very close, and a lot of people ask me why my children and I are very close. That is the sincere confession. We are up close and personal because I always tried to take every opportunity I could to spend quality time with them, to let them hear me talk, to let them benefit. I do not want to be the preacher whose kid never hears their sermon. I need to be a preacher whose children are my first audiences. Yeah, my children have got to be in the audience when I preach. What is the use in preaching to all of you to change your lives if my children don't hear the sermon? So yeah, my daughter was in the car. I was the driver, and I took my daughter. When my daughter wants to be picked up, I will pick my daughter up at great inconvenience, but I will do it. I do road trips with the children. I love road trips. The reason why we do road trips is because we are up close and personal when we are doing road trips. We talk, we share of ourselves deeply. I get to hear them. Yeah, and this is the basis of changing your life and making it generationally sustainable. 1, you do the needful. 2, you teach the next players to do the needful. But you teach them so well that they are also then able to teach the next players to do the needful. And I've told you that is what my father has done. And that's why on his anniversaries, that's why on any opportunity I get to tell you about him, I tell you, because he is an incredible man. A man who executes his assignment and does it in such a stellar way, and then teaches the next players to do it in an equally stellar fashion, so that they teach the next players. Because I have enough evidence to be able to tell you that my father taught his children to do, and his children have done. His children have done. My daughter has 3 daughters. 2 of us with the doctorate, 1 with a master's. Insane. And we are from multiple disciplines. 2 doctorates, 1 master's, 3 daughters of 1 man. My dad's dream was to have 7 sons. He didn't. But you see, the 3 daughters he was given, what he was given to work with, he worked with really well. Of the 4 children my father has a son. The son is a given. So I don't really make too much noise about the son. The son is a given. He's expected. He's supposed to do. He carries the name and he does all those things. It was the 3 random daughters that most people wouldn't know what to do with. And what he did with the 3 daughters, that to me is more significant. Let's focus on the daughters. The elder of the 3 daughters, the eldest of the 3 daughters, has already delivered 1 doctor already. She is a phenomenal steward. She's done her assignment for herself. And she's delivered a grandson who is a doctor already. The rest of us, our children are younger. Am I inspired? Hell yes, I'm inspired. Hell yes, I'm inspired. Have I started talking to my children? Hell yes, I've started talking to my children. Of course, I've started talking to my children. Am I trying to let my children understand what legacy building and building a name for ourselves means? Oh, hell yes, I am. Oh, hell yes, I am. My children were at my graduation. I allowed them to wear my hat. The day before, my husband and I went to meet a couple friend of ours. They are actually family. But yeah, the wife is a doctor, the husband is a doctor. I'm like, oh damn, people are doing really well. I have friends who are both professors. The wife is a professor, legitimate on her own. Husband is professor, legitimate on his own. People are building little clusters in places. They are setting things up for their children. People who did not come from anything. My professor friends have all both individually made. They are self-made. They were not given anything from any family. They have pushed themselves and they have done that for themselves. The doctors I'm telling you about, they have pushed and they have done for themselves. It can be done. Victor, it can be done. It can be done. Niven, it can be done. Yeah. Aditi, it can be done. Devona, it can be done. It is being done. You can do it for yourself. You can start a cascade. Your cascade will spill over and you will achieve things. If my dad was here and he could see that 2 of his daughters have managed to put doctor titles to their names, and that 1 grandson already has put a doctor title to his name, that man would have cried. My dad would have been so pleased to see it. He missed it, but it's still happening, isn't it? Yeah, that's how good of a steward he has been. The next one is that young man who is turning 21 today. Yeah, that young man is a very dearly beloved young man. But you see, that's a young man I invest in heavily with my everything. That is a young man I indoctrinate every opportunity I get. That is a young man I don't even need to preach much to. I just need to show him his grandfather's picture and tell him, my son is a spitting image of my dad. Crazy. My dad's genes are loud. Spitting image of my dad. And I tell my son who he is a spitting image of. He knew my dad very well. And you see, my dad, being who he was, when my dad passed, my son was 10 and 12. So my son was not even that old. But my dad had already got in his head. My son was a Liverpool fan all along. At the moment, he's a Man U fan. Guess who changed that? My dad. My dad was so inspirational. He could let you eat the sun. He could tell you the sun could be your meal. Thank you. Yeah. My dad could inspire you to do anything. And so, for me, as a steward for this young man, my assignment is to make sure that I inspire him, that I motivate him, that I support him, that I cheer him on, and get him to also carry what he has, execute on his gifts, and contribute meaningfully to the little dynasty that we are trying to build here, because that's what we are building, a dynasty. A group of people who are influential, a group of people who elevate to live better and to make it even better for the generations after them. That's what we are building. And yeah, already it is working. Already it makes me so proud to tell people that I'm a Manson. Yeah. And sometimes when I watch my children tell people about me, I'm so damn proud. Anyway, can you guys see the book that is on your screen? I need you guys to help me with my assignment. I need you guys to click and go buy my book. I am a phenomenal writer. I say so myself, but I am. I am a phenomenal writer. I am a great storyteller. And you will see that in the written text before you. Do go and check out my book. Buy a copy, please. Read the story. Give me a review. And come here, let us review. I know some of you have already received your copy. And again, in my assignment, I made my daughter get a copy. Her copy should have been delivered yesterday. I am reading that book with my daughter. I've asked my daughter and her friends to read the book. You should have seen the pride with which my daughter was telling her friends about the book her mother had written, containing some inspiration about her and her friends. Yeah. See, I'm a generational player. I understand my assignment clearly because my mentor was very effective in letting me understand my role. The writing is a very important step in my legacy build. Getting my name in the text, making sure that my name, as in my father's name, is what is documented. Because for me, I got married and I changed my surname to my husband's name. So professionally, my doctorate title is to my husband's name. And it belongs there because that guy has also worked so hard to support me to get me here. It really belongs there. It belongs there. My children bear that name. So it is my responsibility to support that family, to build that name. Well, I didn't need to do much really because they themselves have also been excellent people. They have built a beautiful name that I was proud to adopt, but I am proud to contribute to. But you see, when I write as Amma Manson. When I create content, I create as Amma Manson. And I did that purposefully because I want to pay homage to my daughter, to my father, to my father's name. Homage to my father's name. I want to honor my birth surname. I want you to know that name too. As much as I want you to know the Amphibrobe name, I want you to know the Manson name. And I want you to know all the wider context that builds who I am. Every time you buy a book from me, you are helping me to build a name. You are helping me to propagate my father's name, the name my father built. You are helping me to honor my lineage and to carry forward our lineage. So please buy the book. Please read the book. That is what you are doing to help me. What I'm doing to help you is to tell stories. You just bought the book. Oh, Della, God bless you. Della, you know, there are some of you, the support you have shown me over the years. Della is insane. In 2018, when I made my bag and I took it to an exhibition, I met Della at the exhibition. He bought the bag from me. In 2019, when I had started making customized cups and those things, Della bought a set from me and I went to hand deliver them. He's bought almost everything I've made. Don't think I don't remember, because I do. Because I do. I am humbled, you know. I don't deserve the support, but I am so grateful to receive it. God bless you. Thank you. The book and what I do for you when you read my book as an African, as a black person, you will read my book and it will help you fluff your feathers, because that's my intention. It will help you sit up straight in rooms. It will help you keep your head up, because that's what I want to do, and I do it very well. I tell stories that are enforcing to your identity. I want you to share those stories with your children, especially those of you who have children in the diaspora. Let them hear African stories from a perspective that they are unlikely to hear it. Let me tell them about them. Jazzy. Hey Queen, hi sis, how you doing? Yeah, let me tell you stories about royal people in Africa, because that's true. The stories I tell are very true stories. Let me show you. And when I am out and about and I flip the camera, I do the same work that I do in my writing. I want you to hear African stories from a new perspective. I want you to see Africa in a new perspective. I want you to figure out what happens in the place that nobody actually tells full stories on. As I was telling you, I have walked into my sister's house. I'm sitting in an ensuite bedroom. When I say things like that, I get comments, Amma, did you really say, yeah, receiving the American love, and I'm sending you one from the motherland? Yeah. Did you say people in Africa live in ensuite houses? I'm like, what? Are you mad? You should come and see. You should come and see. You should come and see my sisters and how well they are doing. You should come and see my cousins and how well those are doing. You should come and see my uncles and how well some of them are doing. I'm not saying that everybody is doing phenomenally and fantasticably, but everybody is doing their little bit, just like anywhere else in this world. Some people are doing better than others, and everybody's trying their very best in every corner. It is the same. It's Africa is full of poor people. I'm like, look at you. When I told you on Saturday that I was driving my friend's abandoned RAV4, somebody was like, what the hell? What do you mean you were driving an abandoned RAV4? I am driving a car that my friend has abandoned. She doesn't use. She dumped the car, bought herself a new Renault, and this car, she says she probably is keeping for when her son finally decides to learn how to drive, and maybe it's a RAV4. It's a good drivable RAV4. That is the RAV4 I am driving about in town. Somebody's abandoned RAV4 in Africa. I know. It bucks a lot of the trends that a lot of you are used to, right? It challenges your thinking. And so people come into my inbox, stop talking nonsense. I'm like, what do you mean nonsense? I'm telling you my lived experience. That a woman in Africa has dumped a RAV4 in front of her house. A fully functional RAV4, a decent RAV4 that I am able to drive about town and look good and feel good whilst I'm driving. But that is my friend's abandoned car. Those stories are important because I don't think some of you have heard these stories ever before. But yeah, that's what people do here. People abandon their RAV4s and they buy new ones and they go live their better lives. I know, it's insane for some of you. Well, you need to hear insane stories. So here I am to tell you insane stories. And I am so proud that I get to tell you the stories. I really do. I am so proud that I get to tell you about this, because who else will tell you? Let's donate some money to some Africans. I'm not suggesting some Africans don't need your donations, but I'm telling you that's not the only story there is in Africa, you know. Some Africans are also donating a lot of money to each other and to other places too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Jazzy, yeah. Some insane Africans are busy abandoning Rafos and doing whatever. When I'm here, we have one car only here. But as you know me, I like to be very mobile. So, and no, I don't like to get in my husband's way to be grabbing the car. So when I'm here, my friends rally. And every single time I'm here, there are times where I will end up with multiple cars at my disposal because multiple friends will give me multiple cars. There's a friend who normally gives me his Highlander, and so people thought the Highlander belonged to me. I always tell you guys, it's not mine. It's a friend of mine who lends it to me regularly. And yeah, that car, even from when it was brand new, was sitting here. That's a holiday car. That's a car he uses when he's on holiday. And so when I'm here, I get to drive it. There's a Sorrento you guys see me drive also. Yeah, that's also another friend of mine's spare car. Yes, the Sorrento is somebody's spare car. That's not their main car. That's the car they could give me and they could drive. Yeah. Yeah. My friends tell stories here that are insane. I need to convince some of them to let me show you. I arrive and they're like, oh yeah, we'll drive the truck. It's fine, you take the Sorrento. I'll drive the truck. And I'm like, huh? The truck is sitting somewhere. The Sorrento is their town car. Yeah, city runner. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sometimes you go to friends and they're like, oh, would you like to take the Camry? Oh no, the Camry is too low. No, don't take the Camry. Take the Sorrento. People say here with multiple cars. And they are African. Most of these people have never gone to live abroad ever. Some of them are returnees, but not all of them. Some of them have lived here their entire lives, and I'm telling you what they do. I'm telling you what they do. Yeah. Oh, I'm so grateful. Jazzy, the Lord has blessed me. The Lord has blessed me. My friend, I still have some in my car. I went to meet my friend who fed me, who gave me a lot of things. And then when she finished, she sent me off with coupons. Fuel coupons. I'm sitting here right now. I've come to my sister's house to be driven about like a little princess, to be treated like a princess. Jazzy, you know I'm in love with you too. I am in love with you right back at you, sis. Yeah. I'm sitting here with fuel coupons that I've not even used, that was given to me by people. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and a person will say to me, take your car and have it filled. The life I live in Africa. It's my best kind of life, you hear me? Yes. I live here like a little princess because people here can make me their little princess. People here do make me their little princess. And I live a really wonderful life, and I want you guys to see that. I want you guys to see that. I want you guys to know. Thankfully, because of Dirty December and a few things, a lot of you are beginning to see an aspect of Ghana, an aspect of Africa. But even Dirty December is missing out on the human story. And so it's my job to tell you the human story, to recount the real human accounts. Hopefully, that it's so authentic and it connects even more meaningfully with you. That is my assignment. My assignment is to tell you these stories, to let you hear these things, to let you feel these things. Yeah. Good night, sis. We are having engagements here. I love it when We have the summer holidays and various colleagues and friends travel. I love to see real Jamaica and to see Jamaicans living well in Jamaica. I love it. It makes me feel good. The friends who go to Trini, they will bring pictures from Trinidad. I'm like, Trini is beautiful and people are living well. Varied lives in Trini. Amazing. I love when people come from Guyana. Oh, Victor. People don't know. Yeah, I wish people knew. I live in many places, and you guys know that I live well in most of the places I live at. I choose to be in those places. But when I'm here, oh, when I'm here, life is a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different ballgame when you're here. I want you guys to hear that story. I want you guys to know that story. I want you guys to feel me. I want you to hear an African story you don't hear. So some of you were asking me, Amma, did you just say that your house is locked? You keep a holiday in a home in Ghana. That home is your holiday. Yeah, the home I showed you is my home. 100% my home. It is my holiday home. It's under lock and key when I'm not here. In fact, I've showed you 2 of my homes which are vacant currently. Those 2 houses have been vacant for 2 years. No, it's not everybody in Africa who's looking for a dime or 2 from you. But I'm at that house. But that's my house. That's my home. That's my holiday home. That's what my husband and I hope to be our retirement home. But yeah, I'm at the neighborhood looks good. Yeah, neighborhoods in Africa can look good. And actually, I don't think my neighborhood has even lived to its full potential yet. It has not. There's still a lot of things to be done. The road network is atrocious. But that's an African neighborhood though. That's not even an affluent one. There are more affluent places. A lot of my friends and family who are residents here, they live in much better places. We go to people's homes. My actual home, not even for Airbnb, Victor. My home is for me. I don't want to even share it with any Airbnb person because I can actually keep a home. I can. We come annually. My husband and I were saying, well, now we can actually come more frequently. We should, and we would enjoy it more frequently. The second one, I'm trying to sell. I think selling makes more sense. But yeah. You see, in this very short story, I hope I've told you some things about Africa that some of you may not have noticed. It's there. A lot of you watch the Nigerian movies and you think it's all make-believe. It's not. Some people actually do live the way you see the Nigerian movies in Africa. They live here. They do that. The minute I said I was in the bus, my friend was like, you should be ashamed of yourself. Why were you on the bus? Because I'm on the bus. And unfortunately for me, yesterday the bus even broke down. Yeah, it's my personal home. Yeah, that's my home. That's part of the reason why I just picked my bag and run to this place. One stupid small suitcase was enough because I have enough in the home kept here for me to be able to live well. That's how I want it. So my home, not for Airbnb. Nah. It's a great idea. Maybe when I was younger, it would have been a good move. But right now, I am able to make those decisions. They are not financially sound decisions, but I'm not looking to make financially sound decisions. I'm trying to make sentimental decisions that make me happy. Yeah. Anyway, today is the 17th of March. Be warned, I shall make a lot of sentimental posts about my son. because I am celebrating my men this month. Yesterday for my father, today for my son. Let me go back to my reading and let those in my house sleep for a little bit. And when the day kicks off, I'm going to wake and go with my sister on a school run. I don't even know if she still does the school run. I think the kids are delivered right now. But if she chooses to do the school run, I will take you to a school run. And I will show you a school run in Africa. Yeah. African children going to school. Some of you were so shocked to see well-dressed African children going to school in my neighborhood. Like, what? These are not even affluent children. These are just regular children. Their shoes are so nice. What did you expect? Oh, they're wearing white socks. What the hell did you expect? Oh, their hair is in order. Everything is banging in order here. Yeah, I'll show you some more Africa in a bit, okay? Here, how do you say your name? Adamu Shaibu. Adamu Shaibu. It's not even that long. Adamu Shaibu, Adamu Shaibu. Nice to see you. What a lovely name. So, I'll see you guys when I get out and about town, okay?